The focus of this video will be on how we can recreate our contour model in Rhino using only 2D planar elements, now that we have generated contour lines for cutting. This will involve modelling the material thickness we wish to use and begin to assemble the model in Rhino. Firstly, as a reference for when it comes to the physical assembly, but also to ensure we create an accurate support base. We're going to begin by duplicating the 2D lines we generated in the previous video. So select them all and copy them across to the right. Next, we are going to create a new sublayer under our contours layer by right-clicking on the layer and selecting New Sublayer. I'm going to call it Offset Contours. For this sublayer, we'll change the display colour by clicking on the display box and selecting red as our new colour. With this new sublayer, we're going to separate our contours. Starting with our original lines, select every second contour beginning from the top. Be sure to hold down the Shift key to select multiple lines. Once you have done this, place these on the Offset Contours sublayer by clicking on the layer and selecting Change Object Layer. Follow this same process with the second set of contours, but this time select the opposite lines to the ones previously selected, placing them on the Offset Contour sublayer as well. Now we can begin to model the material and assemble the contour model. Select both boundary curves and type the command Planar Surf to generate 2D surfaces. Ensure your viewport display is set to shaded so you can see the surfaces created. Select both of these new surfaces and type the command Split. Next, right-click on the contours layer and select the drop-down option Select Objects, then hit Enter to use these curves to split the surfaces. Now that we have the split surfaces, use the Select Surface command to select them all. We will generate the material thickness by using the Offset Surface command. This will give us options in the command line. Make sure the distance is set to 3 for our 3mm thickness. Check that the direction of the offset is up according to the arrows in the model space. If they're pointing down, click the Flip All option in the command line and you'll see the direction of the arrows change. Now hit Enter to generate closed poly surfaces that now represent each of our cut pieces ready for assembly. Lastly, copy the red contour lines to the top of the poly surfaces. Simply right-click on the Offset Contours layer and click Select Objects, followed by the Copy command and snap to the lower corner of one of the poly surfaces. Then click again to the upper corner of the same poly surface to copy them up. Finally, we're going to stack these poly surfaces to represent the assembly process. Start with the top contour poly surfaces and move them to a new space across to the right. Move the next contour pieces from the opposite set, but this time include the red contour lines within it, using these as a reference on where to place these pieces below the first ones. Continue using this back and forth process until you have moved each poly surface to create what will be the reference model for when you are assembling your physical model. In the next video, we will create a support structure and base to sit the contour model on.